As early votes start rolling in Orlando's District 5 race uncovers past controversies. What do these revelations mean for the future of your city? Oh, you can't make this shit up. I'm your host, Joel Hoxley, David Washington. You can't. So if you don't know what we're talking about, if the hook wasn't good enough, look, the race for for Orlando's interim District 5 commissioner, it's heating up. You got Shaniqua, I believe, Shan Rose, and Travis McCurdy.
Travaris.
No, Travaris, that's right. I'm terrible with names, but it's facing scrutiny over past controversies. There's a secretive ad that highlights McCurdy's arrest history. Shit, Rose has to defend her forced exit from the city hall. So, despite these revelations earlier, the early voting has begun Monday with Election Day on June 18th.
Okay.
Listen, voters must decide who will fill that seat until 2025 or until Commissioner Regina Hill, who's very confident that she's going to, you know, get away with, the charges are going to be resolved. She's very confident. She's got a very high-powered attorney
Yes.
that has got a very, very strong win record.
That's correct.
I don't think she got him off a billboard either. So, guys, you can't make this shit up. You know what? Your closet gets open. You're in a runoff.
Yes, sir.
If you've been fired, everybody's going to talk about that. If you've been arrested, everybody's going to talk about that. Look, that's the cream that rose to the top. So maybe it's because of these incidences that people actually know who they are and didn't realize how they knew them.
Right. Well, a lot of this information about Travaris and about Shan has been out there. It's been out there since at least 10 years that I've been here.
Well, it hasn't been on the Morgan and Morgan.
Not on the billboard yet. However, again, these aren't the two best candidates to come out of this election. Into the runoff, I think turnout was 3%, Joel. 3%.
You in the city?
In the city, in that district, District 5, city of Orlando. 2,321 voters.
You can't make this shit up. We keep telling you guys, you got to get out and vote. If you live in the city, you got to get out and vote.
Right.
Look, it's important.
And former suspended Commissioner Regina Hill, I think has a very good chance of having the charges resolved in her favor and coming back to her seat. And as recently as a couple of days ago or several hours ago, Commissioner Hill and Mayor Buddy Dyer of Orlando have both come out in support of former state representative Travaris McCurdy. And so that says a lot, that it looks like the big names and the big money is behind Travaris. This phantom mystery mailer against Travaris and bringing up his youthful indiscretions. Travaris is a young man compared to me, at least, but to bring up his criminal record.
What's funny is you break the law you broke the law to tell everybody he broke the law.
Right.
This is a mystery. This is a mystery organization that's mailed this thing out. So, that's illegal anyway. So you're doing something illegal to again, you can't make this shit up.
And I have some idea who's behind the mailers. I mean, it's a relatively small political consulting community here, but both candidates leave a lot to be desired in regards to their credibility as elected officials. Granted, again, Travaris is a former state representative, and Shan Rose never held the elected office. Um, if I was a District 5 voter, who would I vote for? I don't know. I really don't know. I was hoping that this particular special election will bring out some really great, new, fresh talent, and it did not.
So I'm figuring that we should have a voting booth in the Orlando police station. Um,
Or at least a courthouse that's in District 5.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, we could do it in the courthouse.
The
Well,
federal courthouse.
yeah. Well, you do have all the. I mean, you have all the public services in District 5, so
A
you,
good
you got
majority of them, yes.
you have plenty of
None
public
of that's going
buildings.
to and none of that's going to change really.
No,
In the two individuals who are seeking to
but
replace Regina Hill.
we've talked about homelessness. We've talked about homelessness in the past. I'd like to you know get a little bit upset with you know the Florida law enforcement for doing this investigation and making Regina Hill homeless. I mean, that was not fair. I mean, Buddy Dyer has to eat that one for.
It is what it is.
I'm
Maybe she's staying
uh,
with Buddy.
maybe she is because she's definitely not staying in the house that she moved into. So,
I think the charges are going to turn out to be in her favor. Just knowing what I do know about the community, about the case itself, I think she'll have a very good chance of regaining her seat.
uh,
The
I'm hearing the
office is
same
up
thing.
for
Look,
reelection
look,
in 2025.
I'm hearing the
So
same thing. I'm hearing the same thing, and that's. I mean, that's there's more to the story. The Sentinel. I guess we're finding out the Sentinel doesn't do a good job on their stories. We've seen
is
that.
that anything new?
No, and it's getting bad. It's getting bad. But look, this is a complicated thing. This is why we make efforts to tell you that voting local is the most important vote. The
Mhm.
city needs improvement, then you need to put the right person in that position. If your city is doing well, then you want to strengthen that by putting somebody in who's going to help you go that continue that direction. But
Mhm.
it's a tough thing. You look at these elections and you say, okay, they quickly put this in. They quickly moved this. Now the city has to pay for this, so they quickly got an election out there. They're now having their runoff, and it's spent. It's costing you, the taxpayers, all this money for very few people to make the decision. And this is also confusing you because we know the city's already said you get confused when elections are, you're getting, ballots, early ballots for this, and then you're going to get early ballots for, August races. So, they moved the election to 20, to an off year just because of that. So, and if you don't see the ironic, situation there, you're 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 supposed to be confused right now. So don't get confused. If you live in District 5, if you don't know if you live in District 5, get with the Supervisor of Elections office. You can't register, but if you're already registered, get out there and vote. Look, it's important. Be the be the vote that makes the change that you want to see. You only have two choices. I don't know either of them, not as well as David would, but I do know Regina. Met her. She's actually a nice person. That's why she gets elected. Um, but just because you're a nice person doesn't mean you can't do wrong. So,
Mhm.
guys, gals, if you have a right to vote in this election, it's critical that you get out there. And if you know somebody who can vote, tell them, just go out, do your research, vote for the right one.
McCurdy's not a convicted felon. The information that was sent to residents in parts of District 5 is misleading. And again, like you said, do your research, do your own research. Uh, District 5, I plead, let's see some turnout. I know it's a special election in the middle of June. However, District 5 needs good representation. There's so much that's happening in District 5. So much is moving in the direction that you as a community need to be a part of and be aware of, and engage in your civic duty to be aware of what is happening. Um, Orlando City is changing very quickly. And there are forces at play that require the public to be aware more than ever. And so when you do go and vote early, or if you haven't requested your vote by mail ballot, do so, participate, engage, because right now it's going to be pretty much business as usual. And with turnout at 3% for this special election, turnout at 18%, less than 18% for most city elections, if you're not happy with the way your streets are, if you're not happy with the way that it's going to cost you more for city services, if you're not happy with the flooding that's happening in your community, if you're not happy with access to affordable groceries, affordable care, in your community, if you're not happy with the quality of businesses, the opportunities for better paying jobs in your community in District 5, now is the time to send a message. And then you get to send a message again in 2025 when the seat is up for election. So I impress upon the residents of District 5. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not going to get too excited about this. I anticipate turnout to be pretty much the same. However, I'm hopeful. And the cynic part of me is always going to be there. However, I'm leaving out hope that residents, voters in particular, of Orlando City District 5 look at both candidates, question their records, hold them accountable. You do your damn research and you make wise decisions. And whatever the outcome is, you hold that individual accountable.
People get arrested every day.
Yeah.
If you've ever been pulled over, technically you've been, and you get a ticket, you can basically call that, well, it's a type of arrest. But listen, guys, don't believe everything you read that comes out there. Do your own damn research. I agree. And look, it's up to you to make this decision. It's not up to us, but we're telling you, make it. Vote. If you know somebody in that district, vote. That's the most important thing. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you're part of our network so that you have the information. Or you can say, well, Joel, your jokes weren't good because they were offensive to my friend here. Or hey, Joel,
They're going
I
to come
think you
for you.
I think you missed something here. But I'm laughing because this is so typical of what happens in a local election where the last two standing end up creating problems. So
Join us in a couple of weeks for the presidential primary. Or no,
watch
it's not
party.
primary.
It's a watch party.
It's a
It's
watch
the
party.
actual general
Presidential
election.
general election watch party between President Joe Biden and former President Donald J. Trump. We'll be doing a live reaction as it happens. Right now, we have slated as a guest former Congressman Alan Grayson, who will join us and give commentary, and maybe some more guests. We're working on it, but please stay tuned in this space to learn a little bit more about our live reaction to the presidential debate between Biden and Trump.
Well, we know we'll be watching. We don't know what Biden will be doing. I mean, we'll see if he knows where he's at. I mean, he'll be in a room with no people. So, but I know Donald Trump. He'll show up. I mean,
Yeah, he will
he'll
show up and show out.
he'll make love to that camera. So, because he can't make love to his people, so he is an entertainer, and
Yes, he is.
he's going to make his show. So, guys, pay attention. It's early. It's very early. It's making sure that they blocked everybody. Even the debate commission is out on this one. So if you're not, not watching directly, if you want to kind of join us, come on, join us. Watch us go, huh? What did he say?
We'll see you the next time. We're your political innovators here at Jay in Washington.